Well, it's now time for the latter stages of the inaugural Rotax Max Euro Trophy Open here at the home of champions karting Genk in Belgium. We're now into the final stages of the race weekend, and we have our first of two Junior Max finals. 34 competitors in each encounter, and the lineup is as follows. It's a Dutch front row with Mike van Vugt and Chris Hanen in the 217 and the 284, followed by Olli Pilka from Poland, Tom Heinertz from the Netherlands. Miska Kaskinen in fifth position. We'll have Germany's Gianni Andresani from RS Competition alongside. Lars Zeinen and Oscar Christiansen complete the top four rows with Jeff Machiels from Belgium and Germany's Fahin Mega, who won the Junior Max crown at Conde Pareba in last year's Rotax Max Grand Finals, rounding out the top 10. Vilgot Edquist in 11th, ahead of Linus Hensen, with Leighton Forey and Zen Rudenberg completing the top 7 rows. Lucas Schoenmakers, Jerzy Spinkowitz, Alexander Abskaba, Matis Malinovskis, Dan Zopfi and Christian de Klein round out the top 20, with Bart de Wit, Ethan Coetzee, Max Damadink, Jeffrey Fixer, Kai Hillas, Daniel Ginchard, Patrick Slokmelis, Lukas Shabinskas, Jules Castro, Morris Schmeiss, Morris Schuring, Miro Halika, Valentin Klus and Flint Schuring rounding out the 34 strong. The last 6 qualified through the second chance heat a little bit earlier on this morning. Time now has just gone 10 past 11 local time in Belgium. So if you're watching from the UK, good morning, happy Easter to everybody. Hope you're enjoying the show as much as we are here at the home of champions. So this is the first of 2 finals. So we will have Junior Max, then following this will be Senior Max, DD2 and DD2 Masters, before we go to the lunch break at 20 to 1 local time. It might be 17 degrees in terms of air temperature, with it set to hit over 24 today a little bit later on. But the intensity and the heat will be increasing exponentially on the racetrack. 1,360 metres here at Karting Genk, a fantastic circuit. Every time I get the opportunity to come here, and in the last 3 months it has been 3 times I've been here to the home of champions. 17 rows of competitors, 34 drivers in total, ready to go racing here. The red lights are on the starting gantry. 11 minutes are on the timer. Race director saying slow down, wait for the start, anticipate it, lights out, and we go racing. So heading into turn 1, great hole shot for Mike van Vugt as customary. And looks like Chris Hanen has dropped a little bit further back down the order, and we've had a melee off of turn 3 already, and it's gone a bit rallycross. It's got a bit World Rallycross there. 2 drivers both going off the track, and there's someone not going any further forward, because look at the front right wheel. That is absolutely going nowhere. That kart is not going to have any probable steering possibility there. Yep. Left turn only, I'm afraid, so that driver's already out. So one of the 34 already coming a cropper, and we've had a spinner off of turn 8. Someone's gone 180 degrees the wrong way, tries to rejoin. Someone else has been involved in that. Yellow flags off of the exit of turn 8, but leading the field, it is Olli Pilka. Olli Pilka, Mike van Vugt down into what is effectively 3rd position. Second behind Pilka is Chris Hanen, who's charging and gives Pilka a little bit of a bump from behind. Looks like Tom Heinertz, I think. No, that's Jeff Machiels, actually, in fact, that's gone up to 4th position. So the order has dramatically changed as we've had a couple of altercations on the opening lap. So Alexander Abskava was the one, I think, that went off of turn 8. So managed to rejoin all the way down into 34th. So we've had a confirmed 34 starting this race, but at the front it is Olli Pilka from Poland, with Dan Holland Racing closely being followed by Chris Hanen, who's with Buvin Power apparently. He was running with JJ Racing last season, if memory serves me correctly. But Oscar Christiansen is hot on the heels of Jeff Machiels in the battle for 4th position. Top 15 will score. And there's a little bit of a signal from Miska Kaskinen to the likes of Linus Hensen and Lars Zeinen to say, let's catch up to everybody in front. They want to get as many points on the board, because this is where the process starts. It's the initial foray into trying to get that golden ticket to the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals in Sarno this October. But leading the way, and they have cleanly broken away, and that is Olli Pilka and Chris Hanen. Van Vugt has broken the toe from Jeff Machiels, with Oscar Christiansen in 5th place. Vilgot Edqvist is ahead of Tom Heinitz. Miska Kaskinen, Jani Andrisani and Linus Henson ran out the top 10, followed by Lars Zanen, Matis Malinovskis, Leighton Forey down in 13th at the minute. Lucas Schoenmakers and Ethan Coxey now round out the top 15, as it's a great battle side by side between Machiels and Christiansen going through into turn 10. Christiansen hasn't made the move yet, but Edqvist is charging the young Swede with Strawberry Racing. Same stable that housed both Jordan Brown-Nutley and Matilda Olsson. Closing on the 2 in front. And we've had a 5-second penalty to Jeffrey Fixer for causing a collision. So Fixer will go down to the tail end of the field. Sherbinskas, I don't think, will take any further part in this race either. So Sherbinskas and Abskava might have been involved in that first lap skirmish off of turn number 3. And Christiansen's up into 4th ahead of Machiels. So Christiansen doing a great job there in the RS competition kart. And has got Machiels, Edqvist, Reinhardt and Kaskinen. That's a real battle. What a move there by Tom Heinitz. Absolutely impressive from the young Dutchman, getting past Vilgot Edqvist, I believe. So Edqvist loses out a position. Van Vugt leading a little bit, well, as I say that, Miska Kaskinen has also got past Vilgot Edqvist. So Edqvist in the wars already. Now on to lap number 4 here. 2 leaders still dicing it out, so it is still between Pilker and Harnen for the lead of the race. Van Vugt will be able to close up, and I tell you what, he is closing already. He was nearly 0.2 of a second faster than the 2 battling away at the front of the field. Other moves up the order: Dan Ginchard up to 22nd, Max Steverdink up into 19th. Kai Helitz has shot all the way up to 16th place as the young Belgian. As it's side by side again through turn 7. Oh, that was very clumsy indeed. Looks like a GKS driver has been left hung out to dry. One is slowing and has pulled off of turn 8 there. So who could that be? That could have been either Jeff Machiels or even... That is Jeff Machiels, because Tom Heinitz is still... that is Jeff Machiels. Not very happy at all. A little bit of frustration showing there from Jeff Machiels. Unfortunately, will not be fighting for points, as I see Kai Hilletz. Think I saw him getting past Bart de Wit just past the start-finish line. De Wit retaliates, going back, and it's a 4-way scrabble with Rielitz leading that one. And in the mix there, I think I could have probably spotted Christian de Klein. So there is a lot of changes happening all the way down the order. But meanwhile, the leaders are still going at it like it's going out of fashion. So it is still Pilker leading. Chris Harnen. Van Vugt is closing. He has closed the gap. And I tell you what, when I tell you that he's taken nearly 2.5 of a second out of each of the leaders, Pilker did a 56.587. Harnen was a 7/1000th of a second quicker. Van Vugt did a 56.346. But the driver fastest of all is Tom Heinitz. He's absolutely flying. He's done a 56.252. That's, well, actually, as I say that, Vilgot Edqvist in the meantime has now got the fastest lap of the race, as there's been more positional changes as Christensen gets past Kaskinen into turn number 2. 5 minutes to go plus an additional lap. There are battles all the way up and down the field. Harnen has yet to find that opportunistic moment where he can put it past Ollie Pilker from Poland. But it's not happening quite yet. There is a back marker up in front, and I would think that may even be the likes of Lukas Sherbinskas, who's way down the order in 32nd position, with both Jeff Machiels and Alexander Abskava, I think, having called it a day for the first final. Van Vugt is getting closer. He is looking absolutely magnanimous and also very menacing at the same time. But this is allowing... This battle at the front has just gone absolutely ballistic between the 2 leaders. And the gap now, a 56.446 from Pilker, a 56.468 from Chris Harnen. But Van Vugt lights up the timing sheets purple with a 56.184. That's the fastest lap. He's closing. He's really closing now. This is absolute dynamite from the Dutchman. Harnen goes for the lead up into turn 7, takes it from Pilker. Here comes Van Vugt. What's this youngster from Boxham going to have to say? The young 14-year-old with JJ Racing. He's really put himself into contention. He was leading the point standings coming into this particular race day. When we spoke to him earlier on, well, when I spoke to him last night, he was looking very confident indeed, and this is just confidence personified from Mike Van Vleut. He's gone up the inside of Pilker to take second off of the final corner. What a move from the 217, the defending Euro Trophy Junior Max champion, now up into second. Now he's got his fellow countryman in the form of former teammate Chris Haanen up ahead. That's his next bullseye he's got to shoot his arrows at, and I tell you what, he still has time to close the gap. 3 minutes and 10 seconds plus 1 to go here. And I tell you what, I mean, the likes of Jules Castro having some great battles with the likes of Farin Mega, last year's Junior Max Grand Finals winner in Brazil. Not having the best of luck is the young German, but I tell you what, there's been some major changes up and down the order. Kai Hielat up into 12th position and absolutely flying. But still, no one's got an answer for Mike Van Vleut's fastest lap of a 56.184. Just over 2.5 minutes remaining, plus 1 additional lap. It's going to be a case of not if, it's going to be when Mike Van Vleut takes the lead from Chris Haanen. But you can't not factor out Olli Pilker, as Tom Heinertz, I think, has just lost out. And could that be? Yep, that's de Vilgot Edqvist. Blue flag being shown to the driver that's just been passed. That's Lucas Scherbinskas. So Heinertz now a bit on the back foot behind Edqvist. But the young Dutchman, who was last year's BNL Karting Series Minimax champion, is staying with the Swede, going through turn 7. So other positional changes. Dan Ginchard now hits the top 20. The Brits 5 places away from a points finish on this particular occasion. But Chris Haanen continues to keep a lead ahead of Mike Van Vleut. It was 3.5 tenths of a second. It's going to be less than that because Van Vleut is a cut length and a half behind. Well, not even that as they cross the start-finish line. Is he going for it? He's gone for it. He's got it. Well, Van Vleut strikes when the iron is hot, and he took the move very, very much into his favour there. Pilker now latches onto the back of Chris Haanen. But still, we have 1 minute and 15 seconds plus an additional lap. Is it going to be enough time for both Pilker and Haanen? And Haanen now has lost out to Pilker for second position. Looks to be the case, having gone through turn number 6. Meanwhile, behind, you've got Vilgot Edqvist. I have to say, very strong performance from Tom Heinertz from the Netherlands in 5th place at the minute. Miska Kaskinen is battling away with Leighton Forey for what is 6th position. Oscar Christensen now down in 8th place. And looking a bit lonely a little bit further back is Lars Zanen. Bart de Wit rounds out the top 10 at the minute. As Pilker's gone for the lead on Van Vleut. Haanen steals one from the Dutchman as well. So from one corner, Van Vleut goes from the lead to 3rd position. It's still all to play for. This is going to be the penultimate lap. We've got around 25 seconds plus 1 to go. Van Vleut strikes again. Overtakes Chris Haanen going through turn 6. Haanen's now going to get the toe on the run down to turn number 7. But Pilker absolutely forced the issue going through turn 2. Van Vleut was left a little bit high to dry, so to speak. And Haanen went through at the moment as well, but then Van Vleut managed to steal himself, compose, and retake the position for second into turn number 6. But the last lap board has been readied. It's going to be shown to Olli Pilker first. Van Vleut knows that time is fast running out, but he's still got an opportunity. It depends on where the rest of the competition finish. So last lap it is. Olli Pilker leads by over 3/4. Van Vleut throws it up the inside of Pilker. Haanen follows suit through turn 2. Pilker receives the same crushing blow that Van Vleut had on the previous lap. So Van Vleut now in front. Struck at the right time, but Haanen, whoa, that was a brazen move if ever I saw one. So in 2 corners on this last lap of the race, we've seen the lead change. And the lead has gone from 1st to 3rd in an instant. Haanen really under pressure now. Pilker's trying to go through it, pass on the inside of turn number 8. What's going to happen at turn 9? Not really anything happening yet. This is now where the momentum's going to build. It's going to build in the favour of Mike Van Vleut. As Haanen takes a deep defensive line through turn 10. What's going to happen? Van Vleut still in second. So Van Voort, is he going to try and get the toe and get the... It's going to be a drag race. Oh, bit of a tussle between Pilker and Van Voort. More barging between the pair, but Chris Harnan takes final number 1 as the pair behind fight between themselves over second position. But what a well-deserved win. Any of the top 3 deserved it, but it went to Chris Harnan in the 284. What a great finish for the Dutch driver, who's also been competing in the British Karting Championships just recently at Paul Fletcher International in the UK. But Chris Harnan steals one from both Mike Van Voort and Ollie Pilker, with those two finishing second and third respectively. Less than 0.4 of a second between the trio at the front. Well done to Tom Heinertz from GKS Lemons Power, taking 4th ahead of Strawberry Racing's Vilgot Edqvist. That's the top 5 completed. Leighton Fourie in 6th. Miska Kaskinen in 7th ahead of Oscar Christensen, Lars Zanen and Bart de Wit, rounding out the top 10 and completing the top 15, who all score points in this final. Morris Schmeiss from Germany, Jerzy Spinkowicz from Poland, Max Stemmerdink, Kai Hilets and Christian Decline. And just missing out on a points finish was Dan Ginchard. Well, actually, there's been a bit of a change. 274 has been 5-second runoff penalty for Kai Hilets, which drops him down, way down the order to 24th. So, as a result of that, Dan Ginchard ends up with a single point to his name, ahead of Jeffrey Fixer, Linus Henson, Farhen Mega, Matis Malinovskis, Gianni Andrisani, Valentin Klus, Ethan Kurtzi, Patrick Lokmelis, Kai Hilets, Miro Halika, Morris Schuring, Dan Zopfi, Flint Schuring, Lukas Schoenmakers, Jules Castro in 30th, ahead of Lukas Scherbinskas with Zen Rudenberg, the last of the 32 classified finishers, with Jeff Machiels and Alexander Abskava not even making it to the finish.